Hello again. It's our second live stream.
Hey,
welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
Please join us. I am Will Pasquin. I am pretty much the gaming guy, any and all things gaming. I'm your man.
And I'm Trina Green. I'm the music editor for High Voltage. All things music, all things awesome, turn to me. All things awesome that aren't games, turn to me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Which doesn't leave much, honestly.
Really?
After games, the rest of everything that is awesome is kind of, minuscule.
Plummets.
So our second live stream, we decided at the beginning of each live stream, we're going to rant about things because, as you all know probably, there are a lot of things in this world that are worth ranting about. So today, it's traffic.
Okay.
So, dear God, on our way here, I don't understand. The thing about traffic I understand is, there are a lot of people and a lot of cars, and even if people carpool and all of that, there's going to be traffic. What I don't understand is why there's so much traffic in the middle of the day. Most people work jobs generally at one location, generally 9 to 5. If you're not like a trucker or a babysitter carting kids back and forth, but even kids are at school. Like, how is it there are so many people clogging up the freeway at 1 in the afternoon? What are all these people doing, and why don't they have lives that are further away from me and my life so I can do my stuff?
Because it's all about you, because they're annoying you.
It is all about
and
me.
They're getting in your way.
I don't know them. I'm not aware of these people's existence until they get in my way.
That's so
on the
weird.
freeway. And I just always think, where are you and who are you? What is your life? Do you not have a job? What's going on?
Now, I don't have this problem because I don't have a car, so I don't drive, but you just literally said that, and it literally just came to my mind why that probably happens, at least why that happens here in LA. Because for all the people that do have 9 to 5 jobs, who are you talking to? People who don't have 9 to 5 jobs, people who have gig type jobs, who have irregular hours, so heck yeah.
And that's fine, but then, like, if you've got an irregular job, like, be at home during the day and go out at night. It's like work and everything going on.
It's
TV
very
shows.
inconvenient. It's
So anyway,
very inconvenient.
That's our rant about traffic.
That is officially called our rant of the day. That's what it's going to be called?
Sure, rant of the day.
Rant of the day. So there you go. Rant of the week.
Rant of the
My
week.
bad.
I guess we're not doing this every day.
That's right.
Although, honestly, I rant probably about 2 or 3 things every day. You guys just aren't there to hear it.
You're just not that fortunate to hear what's going on in here when I get annoyed.
Also this week, there's been this strange meta-life scavenger hunt game thing going on called, and I hope I don't butcher the name, GISHWHES? Something like that. GISHWHES. I don't know. I've heard it said a bunch of times, and I can never quite remember how to pronounce it correctly. But if there are any GISHWHESers or anyone GISHWHESing currently listening in, then we've got a little hint for you. If you're at all interested in item 99, then there is here where we film the live stream.
Which is?
A small box if you combine the colors blue and red. And I'm being extra cryptic because that's sort of in the spirit of this scavenger hunt. So yeah, come to where we film, which you'll have to sort of figure out, ha 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 ha. Look for a box, the color of the combinations blue and red, if you're interested in item 99. Okay. So, that. Also, another item.
If you're interested in item 123, the thing you need to do...
Alright, we'll say, apparently we gotta save the GISHWHES stuff till the end of the broadcast. But yeah, so stay tuned to find out more about the strange, awesome scavenger hunt that makes everyone do weird things.
That we can't pronounce.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have a game set up. I thought we'd play a game today. Me and Chelsea actually, we spent all weekend at a gaming convention called the Dragon and Meeple Kickoff Convention. The Dragon and Meeple is a gaming bar and restaurant that's coming out, I believe, sometime early next year. And they're doing a convention to sort of raise awareness, and it was a gaming convention. We set up a booth, we ran demos for Japanime games and Gigamic, and we played a bunch of games, learned a bunch of cool new games. So we had fun having people play Tanto Korea and Mangaka, which were in a comic book shop, so Mangaka is all sorts of relevant. It's a game literally about speed drawing comics that you then have to include certain elements that the game tells you to include. Like, one guy, his comic books were all about aliens and baseball.
Okay.
So the game gives you stuff to talk about. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and this game was very popular, so...
But before you go on, this is actually like a bar or restaurant where you go and play games.
Yeah, so
cool.
so this guy,
That's
it's
cool.
not open yet. There's going to be a Kickstarter for it coming out starting in the next week, I believe. They're trying to get extra money. They have enough money to open up. But yeah, it's a place you go. There'll be a massive game library, so you can just sit at a table, play games all day, order food and drinks if you want. So it's going to be cool.
All right, and this is going to be in LA?
This is going to be in LA, yes.
Okay. All right.
So this was another popular game that we were demoing over the weekend, so we thought we would play it for you guys. It's called Quarto. It's essentially the new fancy schmancy Connect 4. Essentially, I've played it before. Trina has never played it, so I have that advantage. Mwahaha. Essentially, you're trying to make a line of 4 in any direction that share at least one common quality. We have short and tall pieces, round and square pieces, solid and hollow pieces, and black and white pieces.
Okay.
And you don't get to choose which you place. Your opponent actually gets to choose which you place. So that's pretty much it. Nice and simple game, but some complex strategy going on. Let's give it a shot.
So, okay. So I get
So
to
I give
choose
you a
where I'm
piece.
going.
You put it anywhere, and then you'll give me a piece.
Okay.
You sure you want to do that?
Shut up.
Why not? There you go.
All right. And I have no idea. Basically, I guess, yeah, the idea is just to fuck your opponent up.
You're trying to
Basically.
force your opponent to force you to make the line of 4. Because you don't get to choose which pieces you put down. So...
You gave me that.
Yeah, and then now
Okay.
you give me one. I've discovered through playing this game, there is always that awkward moment where after you put your piece down, you're like, ah, there, my job is done. And then you realize, oh wait, I have to hand the piece to my opponent.
Needless to say, I'm already very confused.
It starts off like nothing really happens. Then when there's like 4 or 5 pieces left, everything gets really crowded. And go here.
All right. That's not helpful.
I'm not just gonna give you the victory.
Screw you.
Oh, you saw what I was doing.
Or maybe not. It was
Or maybe not.
probably
We'll,
a very lucky
we'll see
guess.
if you did.
I don't think I did, because, yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't, because 4 in a row short.
Screw you. See? No.
All the short ones. We had a tall and a dark going on here.
See, and I'm only thinking in my head color.
Only color.
And yeah.
It's hard to get all 4 kinds, or you could think, even if you pay attention to the hollow and the color and the height, then you could miss like the round and square. So there's a lot going on here, but that's our little game. It was popular
And I
over
lost,
the weekend.
and it's pathetic. It's pretty sad.
It's alright. As I explained, I had played the game before. Obviously, I am the supreme leader of all things gaming. I'm not even just a gaming master, I'm the gaming guru. You don't get to be a guru unless you're all sorts of special. No.
Have mercy.
Anyway.
Have mercy. God bless America. Oh, hey, look, there's a chat thingy that's up.
There's a chat thingy.
So I'm going to try, at some point, I'm also going to try
You're
and
gonna
share
connect to the
this
chat?
on
Okay, Trina's got something to share
Facebook,
on Facebook.
because we're doing stuff, and we want people to see that we're doing stuff. Right?
We do.
Right.
Also, at the end of the gaming convention,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we're watching our own live stream on Trina's phone.
It's very
Blowing
meta.
my mind right now.
It's very meta going on right now.
At the end of the convention, they're doing a bunch of raffle giveaways, and they've got quite a few big games. AEG donated a lot of product for the raffles. They were giving away multiple copies of Mystic Veil, a bunch of stuff. So I was excited to try and win something. It didn't happen. Right as we were about to give up the last raffle, Dark Souls, a massive, massive, honestly quite sadistic board game, They called Chelsea's name. She walked away with it, so we get to add it to the High Voltage game library, which is awesome. I've wanted that board game. It looks great. If you know anything about the video game, from everything I know, the board game is just as sadistic. It really tries to kill you. It is not forgiving. I read that the first thing when you open the box is a giant piece of paper that just says, "You died." That's the kind of game it is.
Good. That's my kind of game, because apparently I can't play these games, so I might as well be dead. We've got some comments. I see Jessica checked in. Thank you. She said, "You lost, Trina, but you cute."
That's
so
right. Yes,
basically, I win.
You got fans.
I win.
You got one fangirl right there.
Thank
already.
you, Jessica.
Awesome job.
Being cute's way more important than winning some silly game. And yes, I bought race into it, Chelsea. Thank you.
Gaming is serious
Black
business.
and white. Wait a minute, which one won? Oh, the white one.
No, the short one.
The short one. Oh. Now we're heightist. Okay. My bad. Moving on.
I didn't know the game was essentially about... Apparently this game is just a giant symbol for race war.
Everything
I don't
is
know.
a social commentary. Everything.
It's true.
Okay, I'm
This
just
is 2017. It's unescapable.
This is true.
I'm sorry for you round people and square people out there. And especially I apologize to the hollow people.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the hollow people issues in ever. But we're with you, hollow people.
Basically, we don't care about
we
you.
stand with you.
Is this? Oh God.
I'm just going on. Talk about music. Talk about music. Distract them from me and my weirdness.
And this terrible game that I lost at. But if you're on Periscope, thanks for joining. We appreciate that. We're gonna devolve into my semi-subjective expertise, which is music. Which one of the things I'm really glad about having Will here is that he says he's clueless about music, so he gets to learn a little bit.
I do.
Cool.
And you can make fun of me for it. I don't care. I sort of deserve it. You will be amazed weekly how ignorant I am about music.
Okay. So the news, one of the news items of the day, I don't know if you're into him or remember him, but Glenn Campbell died at the age of 81. So
perfect example. I had to ask who that was.
You are shitting me.
No, not shitting you. Again, all the hate mail directed toward me. Again, you will learn about exactly how ignorant I am.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell me a little bit about this unfortunate incident.
Glenn Campbell, great guy. He was 81 years old. He passed away from Alzheimer's, which is not great, which is a suck-ass disease.
Oh.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
But he was 81. Lived a long, storied, traditionally country music life. We're talking the drugs and the alcohol, the whole thing. The guitar. His most famous song, of course, is Rhinestone Cowboy. Everybody knows, like a rhinestone cow. Please tell me you've heard that song. Jesus Christ.
We had that discussion in the car on the way over here when we learned.
I can't. It's fine. It's fine. We will keep you anyway.
But as sad as that is, 81 is pretty good.
81 is awesome.
Anyone famous, especially in the music industry, where a lot of people die at like 27. 27. Is that like... There's that one number, my roommate...
That's 27.
27,
That's
27.
Yeah.
There's another number, isn't it like 27 or 31? Is that...
No, it's mainly 27. If you folks aren't familiar with the 27 Club, you've got a myriad of folks who died at the age of 27, like Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain, unfortunately. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin.
Yes, Kristen, I do live in a cave, or at least I wish I lived in a cave, at least right now in all of this heat. Cold, dark places are my friend.
Oh, Gypsy chimed in. I love Gypsy. She's also known as Kristen Schlosser, but everybody who adores her the most calls her Gypsy. But thank you for joining, Gypsy.
Okay.
But yeah, he died at the age of 81. Famous song was Rhinestone Cowboy. He did this unique thing. I think he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's back in 2010, 2011, or he announced it somewhere around there. And then he recorded an album, and then he went on this kind of farewell tour, and he did this thing of announcing to people that I have Alzheimer's, but I'm doing this tour and I'm playing my songs, so if I get a little disoriented during the songs, now you know why. And that was kind of cool. But
fair warning.
Yeah, fair warning. But he lived a long and storied life, so good for that guy. Also, in the realm of music, one of my favorite new artists, quote-unquote new, because he's been kicking around in the music industry for at least 15 years in other bands. He just released his debut album, and I say debut album is because his name is Mondo Cosmo. I think a shit ton of you have heard me talking about Mondo Cosmo. You've heard other people talking about Mondo Cosmo. It's Josh Ostrander. He's been in a couple of other bands like LaGuardia and Eastern Conference Champions. And when his last band, ECC, broke up, it's like, what does he do now? He just revamped himself and came up with this new project called Mondo Cosmo. And the name Mondo Cosmo, part of it comes from some really awful film, but the part Cosmo is the name of his dog. So his band is named after his dog. But he just released his debut album as Mondo Cosmo last Friday. It's called Plastic Soul. Amazing. Outstanding. I reviewed it. It's up on High Voltage. You need to go check it out. He's signed to Republic Records. And he sounds like he's channeling Bruce Springsteen and U2, and it's just some of the most earnest and
I know
honest.
who those last two are.
God bless you. God bless America.
You know, I take the little moments I can get. Okay?
I'm taking him too. So check out Mondo Cosmo. There's that. I think also last week I mentioned that I have my Spotify playlist. It's called Music On, World Off. And if you're not a subscriber, pop on over to Spotify. You'll find it under my username, which is Dharma69. Pretty much everywhere you find me is Dharma69. So my Spotify playlist, I have 13 songs every Friday. They don't have to be new songs. They can be new songs, old songs, or just songs that I've just discovered. It could be brand new songs.
Found meaning to you through the week.
Found meaning to me through something.
Cool.
Some of the, one of the additions that I added this week was I added a song from Mondo Cosmo called Thunder. There's also this artist called GISHWHES. Now, he's based here in LA now, and he's kind of billed as the world's worst rapper, if you want to go with that.
If you've got a... If that pushes product, then
Dude.
sure. I mean,
but this kid is kind of crazy. It's kind of like punk rap, and he signed to Danger Bird Records. So that should give you an indication of kind of how rock and roll he actually is, because Danger Bird is really notorious, and notorious in a good way, about high quality indie underground rock music and bringing it to light. Like one of Danger Bird's old signees was Silver Sun Pickups. Fits in the Tantrums, and look where they are now. So there you go.
so you say he's one of the world's worst rappers.
He
That's what he's known
bills
for.
himself as the world's worst rapper, but it's this crazy punk rap, and I think you can see his photo. He's this tall, skinny white guy.
I see him
Yeah,
up
he's
there.
this tall, skinny white guy, and it's just he released his new record is called what's it called? Freaked Out American Loser. Came out on July 28th. Check him out. Just go with me, seriously. Go with me. Somebody
Hey,
else.
Joseph. Yes.
Who's out
Batcave.
there? I can't see. I see a Justin Sewell, wherever you are. Thanks for coming. Joseph Alvarez, Batcave. Awesome.
Batcave is definitely awesome.
Yeah.
So is that like his main selling point? Is it ironic that he's
it's
trying
ironic.
to call?
It's ironic.
I was going to say.
Because he's really good. His lyrics are very, not necessarily self-deprecating, but
He makes fun of himself
he
a lot.
kind of makes fun of himself, but he makes fun of the struggle to be yourself, whatever that yourself is.
Sounds like some weird intro to a self-help book. I don't know.
It's really amazing. If you've ever seen any videos, or if you've ever seen him live, I saw him live. Mind blown. He literally crawled into somebody's lap while he was rapping. It was amazing.
Therapy rap.
So
I don't know.
there's that. Check out Mr. Jukebox. Last person I'm going to talk about is a dude called Jimmy Lumpkin and the Revival. Dude's from Alabama. Alabama's great when it comes to Americana and soul and country and folk rock. This is a new artist. And I believe a gentleman named by the name of Noah Shine is producing him. If that name sounds familiar, he's the dude who produced Dead Sarah's very first album. So that gives you an idea of, I don't know if you know Dead Sarah.
Nope.
You should. He should. But if you're familiar with Dead Sarah, he did their first record. So Jimmy Lumpkin and the Revival.
Whoa.
There's that. It sounds like we lost electricity.
Our lighting just got epic. I don't know.
Moody epic.
All of a sudden, the show took a very dark turn.
Like Dark Souls?
Is this how is this what zombies? Is this how it starts?
It could.
Because I'm ready.
Because I'm not. Dude.
I'm sorry.
I still got life to live. I don't know about you.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys can still see us and we don't just look like emo teenagers.
Yeah, I'm afraid we do. Aww,
Hey!
Let there be light.
It returns. Awesome.
Yeah. So there's Jimmy Lumpkin and the Revival. Some other additions to my playlist. Neon Trees just came out with a new song, and they're back. Yay! We love Neon Trees. Don't we love Neon Trees, Chelsea? Yes. We love Neon Trees. So they're back with a new song called, I have to check out, Feel Good. And it's all about, I just want to feel good. Mallory Knox, Joy Wave. Go to my Spotify playlist, Music On World Off. Subscribe. You'll get all this good stuff. And I won't have to tell you about it, but I actually will every week. Just because that's what I'll do.
Well, you can find out, you'll know which songs are there, but then you can find out a little bit about why, maybe why you chose certain specific songs.
But yeah, with Jimmy Lumpkin and the Revival, I really recommend it if you're into stuff like Americana and country and maybe a little classic rock. So, there you go.
Also, to connect the worlds of games and music, which isn't too common, but if you're familiar with the band, I've been replaying old video games that I've liked recently. One came out yesterday that I was excited about called Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. I've only played a few minutes of it. I'm sort of going off on a few tangents here, but the graphics are amazing, really cool Viking myth-themed game, also kind of about insanity at the same time. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. Looks beautiful. But an old game that was really good. I don't think I finished it. It's old enough, though, I can't quite remember. If you're a fan of Jack Black or Tenacious D, there's actually essentially a hard rock themed / death metal themed video game about Jack Black, and he himself is in it and does the voice. There's a little bit of a live action introduction, and then it's a cartoon where he essentially almost dies and then wakes up in this world of heavy metal where everything is like cars and weird, heavy metal monsters, and he wields his axe, and he can both like use it as a melee weapon and play music.
Sounds very Jack Black.
It is
so very Jack Black.
And it's full of music references and all this stuff, and it's just a cool game too. So if you like both the worlds of music and, in this case, video games as opposed to tabletop games, then check out this game. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I'll think of it. I don't know.
Okay.
And now we gotta rehash our previous GISHWHES conversation.
Thing we cannot pronounce. GISHWHES.
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
All right, so we're filming here at Meltdown Comics in Hollywood. Awesome location. Thank you for letting us film here. Item 99, if you're a GISHWHESher, if you take part in this very, very bizarre scavenger hunt. And if you don't, then look it up, because they do a lot of fun stuff. And honestly, bizarre is the best way that I can put it. So if you're interested in Item 99, then come to where we film. There's a small box hidden here you gotta find that is blue and red smushed together. So, that. Item 99. And?
If you're...
It's not tie-dye.
No. So it's like
Just...
Prince's favorite color.
Sure.
Okay. Whatever Prince's favorite color, that box is that. There you go. Item 123, you GISHWHES type people. Yeah. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. It really doesn't. Saturday at 10 a.m., here's the thing. You need to go to the largest art museum in your city or town. Whatever that art museum is, at 10 a.m., okay? If you're in LA, I think the thing is you need to let us know which one it is. I think the choices are the Getty.
The Getty or LACMA, I believe,
yeah,
yes.
If you're a LA GISHWHESher, let us know which museum that one is, Getty or LACMA. So item 123, 10 a.m. on Saturday, head to the largest, Christiana said it was LACMA.
We got one vote for
Thank you.
All right, there you go.
Thank you,
LACMA.
Christiana. I should say Christiana, right? Right. Please tell me that's how you pronounce your name, Christiana.
So apparently GISHWHES stands for Greatest International Scavenger Hunt the World Has Ever Seen.
Boom.
Ugh.
Can't say it.
Quite a long name. I will admit, GISHWHES doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but it rolls off the tongue better than Greatest International Scavenger Hunt the World Has Ever Seen. Hard to tell that about your friends a few times a day.
Okay. Bring food or
Yeah,
Right.
and then there's what was it, the sour
coleslaw,
not sauerkraut, the coleslaw
so close.
picnic that everyone is having.
That.
And you also have to make sure that your water is gluten and peanut free. That's one of the
very
first
important
rules you learn about the game is during the entire what?
An important commandment.
Yeah, so one of the commandments of the game, one of the rules you have to follow throughout the scavenger hunt is that you cannot drink any peanut or gluten water.
Which sounds disgusting anyway, but that's beside the point.
It's that if you find me some glutened peanut water, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's got to happen with that at some point.
But since it's commandments, how many GISHWHES commandments are there? I'd like to know that. Because it sounds like if there's commandments, there should be a Bible.
I hear commandment and I automatically think 10, but I'm pretty sure there are more than 10.
Probably.
Just throughout there.
Just
and those aren't even the items. The items are crazy. Like one of the items, I wanted to do it actually. Maybe I'll still...
Exactly, Sam.
Yes.
Hey, Sean, I'm sorry.
Hello,
exactly.
Sean. Gluten-free water. Have you been not drinking gluten-free water, Sean? I'm very disappointed in you.
If you're having tummy troubles, that's probably why. Yeah.
It's going to really slow you down this weekend. Sean's my good training buddy, and we got a big belt test coming up this weekend, so he's already shooting himself in the foot.
By not drinking gluten-free water. Sucks to be you, Sean.
All right, now I got to look up the name of this Jack Black game.
Talk about Game of Thrones.
In the meantime, oh my God. While he's doing that, I think most of you have already seen Game of Thrones already, this week's episode of Game of Thrones. If you haven't, sucks to be you, because we are going to talk about it.
Spoilers.
Shit got real. I mean, literally, the best, probably the best episode of Game of Thrones. We've got 7 years worth of episodes. This is probably as far as I'm concerned, the most complete. I mean, it had everything. Did you watch it?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's the most, I think one of the things that makes it so finally Game of Thrones, but also what, ironically makes it the least Game of Thrones episode so far, is that it actually has the dragons pretty much doing what they were meant to do. Like, everyone's made fun of Game of Thrones up until this point. It's like, when are the dragons coming? When are the the White Walkers coming? Like, it's all, the entire show is, this stuff is happening, but later. Now the stuff's actually happening, so it's weird.
It's weird?
It's weird that the stuff is actually, again, we've had, how many years of build-up, and now it's actually happening.
And it was amazing. I tweeted, during the episode, or after the episode, I said something like, this was one of those short Game of Thrones episodes, and I'm never okay with the short Game of Thrones episodes. I want as much of that shit as you can get. Pile into 58 minutes and 43 seconds as you can. But it was shorter. And at the end of it, I was like, okay, because it was so overwhelming. It's fine. It was almost too much. So, what happened? So we finally, we had Daenerys and Jon Snow, possibly Ice and Fire.
Still trying to team
Still
up.
trying to make it happen, but Daenerys allowed Jon to go mine the dragonglass. Great. And what happened in the cave?
Yeah, so they saw little cave paintings from the First Men and what were the other creatures?
The Children of the Forest.
Children of the Forests. And Jon Snow saw this, and he brought Daenerys in and said, look, the White Walkers have caused other people who may not have been friends to team up. They're the real threat. So, hey, let's still team up. Daenerys was still a bit stubborn and said, yeah, that's great, just bend the knee.
Yeah.
But...
I feel like the White Walker paintings were just a little bit better than the paintings before it. So maybe John drew it.
That's a fair, yeah.
Christ.
And the White Walkers had little sparkly blue eyes.
Look, as you grow older, your drawing skills draw better.
For everyone else.
Chelsea's saying something about how much artistically better in detail the White Walker drawings were than the children and the men were like stick figures, right?
Fear is a good motivator.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like, all right, kids, it's arts and crafts hour, and they drew the weird circle things on the wall that meant who knows what.
And then when they saw
and
the
then
White Walkers,
the parents
they were like,
brought the
"Holy
whip
shit."
out. The dad took off the belt and was like, you got to draw a really good White Walker.
Because
And the kid
people
was
in
like,
8,000
okay,
years are
okay.
going to need to know what these things are.
Yes.
But I think the crux of that scene was Dany finally realizing that the White Walkers were not a myth and that they've been around for a few years and have been causing trouble. Then there was Aria. I don't know if man, who's a fan of Aria the way I'm a fan of Aria.
She's badass. I don't know anyone who doesn't.
Yeah, the
just
scene where she was
like
taking on
Aria,
Brienne
yes.
and showing her, I am a badass assassin, don't F with me. That was pretty amazing. But another thing that about that scene that I thought was interesting was Sansa's reaction to watching Aria take on Brienne. That was interesting, and some people have a lot of interesting theories about what's going on there. What do you think she was thinking?
Well, I don't know. We saw them first meet in the basement area. I don't know what to call it. In the catacombs,
Yeah.
I suppose, the crypt. And so much has happened, and they each had this moment I actually really liked, where they're like, how did you get back here? It must not be, it's essentially they've both had a very long, very unpleasant journey, and they haven't had time to talk about it. But neither of them knows what's happened to the other, and I don't think Sansa quite is willing to believe some of the stuff that Arya was saying, essentially how she's this deadly person now. She's just like, oh, you. Mm-hmm. So I think in that scene she was finally starting to realize, like, oh, okay, you have killed people and have been specifically trained to be very good at killing people. And maybe she's even thinking, I can use that.
Sure.
Maybe.
Another thought I got from her facial expression was last week, of course, she got reunited with Bran, yeah, and
Brandon.
And she was expecting, great, my brother's back, and then she finds Bran to be this he's not even Bran anymore.
Yeah, even he says.
He's not even Bran. And then she gets to Aria, and it's like she doesn't know these people anymore. And it was like, that was one of the things I was seeing on her face. Like, not only are you're the three-eyed raven who can see the past, the future, and everything that's ever happened to anyone, but you're now this creepy, highly skilled assassin, and you're my family, and I have no idea who you are anymore.
Yeah.
So that was a kind of realism moment. But then came the piece de resistance, the battle, which, yeah.
So yeah, Cersei continues to, at least up until right this point, to really dominate. All this season, she has been able to foresee everybody's moves. She's really cutting off heads on all sorts of snakes. Houses. I think we have two houses which have been completely eradicated already this season. In 3 episodes, has it been?
This is the 4th.
This is so 4 episodes. And she even fixes her relationship with the Iron Bank, which is pretty big. At least it was going to be fixed as soon as Jaime is able to get all of the food and gold back. Mm-hmm. But then, dragons happen.
Someone decided to take Olenna's advice and be the dragon.
Yes.
So
and then awesome battle ensues. We've seen the dragons fight before. We saw a good dragon fight in the arena, where everyone on that island, important at least, almost died pretty much. But this is the first time the dragons have been used for essentially what she raised them for war, to take back the 7 kingdoms. Right. The one thing, it was awesome. All of it was awesome. The one thing that annoyed me is we saw the giant anti-dragon
the scorpion
ballista in training, and they saw it pierce the skull of a dragon. And then it was used, they caught a bit of a dragon's wing. And if it's that powerful, I'd expect it to dig in deeper, but the dragon landed, and Daenerys got out, and she was just like, oh, here, let me help you pull that out.
But she didn't actually get it out.
Did she? I thought we saw her get it out.
No, she didn't actually get it out. She was still trying to tug it out.
Then that was my mistake. I thought she got it out and turned around, and that's when Jaime almost got eated.
Yeah. So we had a lot of people getting burned alive. Not a great way to die, but as far as the show goes, awesome.
There was a lot of people burning in agony, and in one scene, I very distinctly saw one guy just casually walking on fire. He was just sort of, I don't know, he gave up.
He was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out. And unfortunately, a lot of horses that got the taken off of the horse's leg that Bronn did.
Yeah.
I mean, that was So there was that.
And competing with Game of Thrones is also because I'm a huge fan. I love all adult cartoon comedies like South Park, and Rick and Morty is also opening episodes every Sunday. So that's
Wait a minute, what is Rick and Morty on again? What
Rick and
channel?
Morty is Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've got seasons 1 and 2 on Hulu or Netflix, I forget which. Hulu, I believe. And streaming on Cartoon Network are their new episodes. And this episode was Pickle Rick, which they've been hinting at and showing footage of before this season came out. And Pickle Rick is just savage. He essentially, in order to get out of going to therapy with his family, turns himself into a pickle, because that's the easiest way to get out of going to therapy with your family. And without being able to move, he's not a special pickle. He's a pickle, and he has, like, eyes and a mouth. That's it. No arms. He falls down the sewer and is able to, because he's a genius, develop, like, a rat muscle suit, starts kicking ass, and then infiltrates and develops laser weapons and eliminates some kind of secret government-like organization.
Okay.
So he goes from
what he was talking about.
Being a pickle that can't move to wrecking, and then, learning lessons along the way or something like that. But the point is, Pickle Rick.
Apparently, yes. Chelsea is Pickle Rick. So
Chelsea hates Rick and Morty, which I can't understand. Even she liked Pickle Rick. So that's it. You either like Rick and Morty or you hate Rick and Morty. Either one, you'll like Pickle Rick.
All right.
So
I'll take your word for it. One of these days, I will queue up Hulu and watch Rick and Morty.
One of these days. I keep telling Trina to watch it because she likes the same type of cartoon comedies that I do, and she's never seen Rick and Morty.
I'm too busy watching I Love Lucy reruns. That's what I do.
Sorry, no excuse. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for today.
We're good to go. I lost the ratio board game. That was interesting.
The apparently very racial board game. Yes.
Yes.
So maybe there'll be another game. Maybe she'll kick my ass. Next week, we'll see.
That's gonna
One of these times I'll let her pick a game, or I'll come in and have her play a game that I have never played to give her the leg up. Thank you guys for tuning in, and look out for us next week.
Oh, what, Sean? What is your friend Sean saying?
Saying, watch it, Trina. Thank us after.
Okay. I will do that.
Oh, watch
Sean.
it, yes.
It sounded like a threat. I couldn't
even
tell.
My buddy.
Things just don't translate online. He's like, watch it, Trina. It's like, fuck you. I will watch this. Okay. But seriously, thank you guys for tuning in. This time I'm Trina. This is Will. Thanks for coming into the High Voltage live stream, and hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel in the Bat Cave.
Yes.
All right. Later.
Bye.